Fuck it. All right. Woo. All right. This is the first episode. You nervous?
Yes. Do you wanna okay, should I like do welcome everybody?
Yeah, you welcome everybody. Welcome everybody.
All right. Hi and welcome to Movie Unboxing with Marty and Bola. We are a writer and director and an actress, and each week we will dive into a film to unbox how it was made and what it made it tick, talking about the movie from a filmmaker's perspective. Um,
An
So we're
actress's
not
perspective.
experts, right? We're not going to go like we're not experts. We're not here to offend or criticize, but we're just two good friends who love making movies and who learn to educate themselves further by watching more movies. So because we watch them differently than the average guy, we want to share some of our thoughts.
Yeah, we do watch them differently, which sometimes I don't know. Do you get to enjoy it the first time or you got to enjoy it the second time? Because the first time I think you're probably like picking at it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I sometimes have to watch something just for entertainment purposes a second time, and I do end up almost like noticing scenes that I wouldn't have before, because I was too still processing something that happened before,
Yeah.
how
Because
they did it.
yeah, I watched this again and I was like, oh, I didn't see that scene the first time because I was just like, my brain was just like, okay, I'm looking at the cameras, I'm looking at other things, and I just missed a scene. I was like, oh, I didn't remember that the first time, but I got it now. So the film
Right.
that we're gonna be unboxing right now, I like that word. First of all, are we like unboxing movies or movie unboxing? Which one is it?
We're unboxing the movie, right? So
So
we are
unboxing the
okay,
movie.
so they do the unboxing videos where you get like a shipment of something and
Hmm.
you're opening it up with all the people on YouTube and you're like, "Oh, look, this is like orange and the pen can open up or whatever." So we're doing that, but we are watching a movie beforehand and then we are
Going to unbox it.
right. So we're kind of
So
gonna go
movie
more in depth
unboxing.
than just the regular guy that would just go like, "Oh yeah, here, five
All
Rotten
right.
Tomatoes or whatever," and that's it.
So so it's movie unboxing with Marty and Bola.
Hmm.
All right, cool. All right, so the movie that we're gonna be unboxing today is Back in Action. And the movie is it's a comedic spy action film. It
Hmm.
stars Cameron Diaz, Jamie Foxx, Kyle Chandler, Andrew Scott, and Glenn Close.
Glenn Close. I was so excited when I saw her come in.
Yes, I didn't. I was like, wait a minute, is that Glenn Close? Like, whoa, that is her. But that's so people might not know who Kyle Chan. Obviously, they know who Cameron Diaz is. They know who Jamie Foxx is. They know who Glenn Close is. They may not know who Kyle Chandler is. Kyle Chandler was what is he? He was the coach in oh my God, Friday Night Lights, the series that came out
Oh,
in
okay.
the early 2000s or mid 2000s. So he was the coach. What other movies has he been in that people will probably recognize it? The King Kong movie with Naomi Watts. He was like the
Oh,
actor guy.
really?
He was like the actor guy in there in the movie.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah. And then Andrew Scott, he's a British actor.
Andrew Scott, I was so excited. So
Yeah.
Andrew Scott is one of my favorite villains. He is Moriarty in the Sherlock TV show with
Oh,
Benedict
really?
Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. Yes,
Oh,
absolutely loved him in that. He is, I don't know, I mean, the British accent, that's awesome, but it just the way he is just like the most solemn and completely confident in himself bad guy. Like he's a great anti-hero. He does
yeah.
really well at
Yeah,
that.
it's funny you should say that because I know when you said like he's just always so calm, he doesn't do too much and stuff like that, and whatever his character he resonate it like really resonates so quickly, so vividly like that. I think as you know, I think I should start using that, in my acting instead of like just
Right?
flailing
The
all the way. Just remember
yeah,
Andrew
the
Scott and just
calmness
say,
is like radiating. It really
yeah,
is. Like the confidence of
yeah,
the
and
decision making
yeah,
that
it
the
comes.
character did.
Yeah, it comes out in this it comes out in this movie. But anyway, so the movie is about these let's not I'm gonna try not to spoil the movie for everybody. So the
Right,
movie
right.
is, like I said, it's an action, it's a comedic spy action film. It stars Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx, and they are two CIA cover operative. And so they're in the beginning of the film, they're sent a mission. They're sent on a mission. I think is it in London, right?
Is that Mission in London too? I
I
don't
think the
know.
first one. I think in the beginning it's in London. Yeah, it's in
It
London.
starts in London because right, right. It
Yeah,
starts in
because
London.
that the Andrew Scott character is
Mhm.
MI6, so he's
Right.
supposed to be like their partner. So they are sent on an undercover mission into a birthday party, a kid's birthday party to retrieve some kind of like a key. And they do retrieve it, but then
Mhm.
on in their doing their getaway, um, it doesn't go according to plan
No,
and
the flight doesn't go well.
doesn't go well. And then they do survive the flight, but then
Leads them to
they're forced
retire.
to go off the grid. They're
Right.
forced to
Leads
go off
them
the
to
grid,
retire. And so the story really focuses on them being unwillingly pulled back in action.
pull back in action. But now they have children.
Hmm.
I'm saying. So the story actually starts off with Cameron Diaz's character finding out that, before they go on their mission, she finds out a little bit of an information that, like, oh, this, I
That
think we should
changes
just,
things.
it changes things and it puts their work in perspective, like, oh, this is dangerous and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and there's a little bit of like a love, between Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz's character and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But anyway, after they go on the grid, 15 years later, they're a married couple and they're parents with two kids. And for some reason,
Hiding really well.
yes, I
They
was
were
gonna ask
hiding
you
well until.
I, I was gonna ask you that, like being that you are a mom, that
Yeah.
being that you're a mom and uh did you just see, like, even though your kids are still young, are you seeing
Hmm.
like a little bit of like, oh my God, this is what I'm already dealing with right now?
Uh, yes. So the storyline absolutely resonated with me because of this. Like the parallels that I had, like my life has to Cameron Diaz, just the whole that I think every mother eventually finds themselves in this situation where it is like I have been doing all of this for them 24/7 and obviously with love and we obviously want to, but she was itching. You could tell she started like spying on her kids in like a kind of not so normal level because the spying thing, like she was itching to go back. She was itching to get back into her personality again, because it is like you put it aside for a little while normally
Mhm.
as when you become a mother. So I love that part about the story. That kind of really really did make me feel at home with it. Just like I am right now. I have the kids, I'm trying to balance this and I'm trying to do the acting too, I'm trying to do the filmmaking, I'm trying to not lose like what there is of me. So and that really I saw that in her. I saw that inner struggle where she was like, honestly, I just kind of want to go spy on someone and punch someone in the face and not make
Yeah.
lunches right
And
now.
it's funny you said that because I think Jamie Foxx's character, on the other hand, he's okay being out of the game. He doesn't have
He
that
seemed
itch.
right. He
He was
seemed
he
really
was
chill, right?
yeah, he was fine. Like, we're done, we're done. He just wants to be a husband and a parent, and
Yeah.
he's fine with that. But I think the fact that his wife wants, I honestly, if the situation, if like that, the situation didn't call for them to go back in, I don't think he would ever have gone back in. I don't think he just has that urge. I think Cameron Diaz's character would have found something to get, like you said, she just needs to spy on something or somebody.
Hmm.
Won't be surprised if she's spying on the neighbors.
Right.
She
Right,
seems,
sitting in the bushes at some
yeah,
point.
just for the fun of it. Like, let me just get back into it. And I like, and that's the thing with Cameron Diaz, because she really stood out to me in this one. Two things stood out to me. First was Cameron Diaz. I feel like I haven't seen her in a long time,
Hmm.
and I haven't
That's
seen her
true.
do a film in a long time. So I was like, oh, Cameron Diaz is back, and she looks great. She's over 50 and she still looks amazing. Uh,
Yeah.
the acting is still there. I think she really showed a lot of her personality in this because it seemed like this role was made for her. She just You know,
Yeah. And so
she's
that's what I'm actually wondering now that you say that. She was sort of off the grid for a little while and probably with family, you know? I mean, probably just like living her life and then now she's back in action.
now she's back in action. Yeah, she's back in action. I mean, and then the second thing that stood out to me with this movie was the chemistry between her and Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah.
It worked so
It was
well.
good.
So it was just
Yep.
so perfect. Like I really believe that they were a married couple. Like are these
Hmm.
two? I was like, I mean, are these two dating in real
Did you
life?
Google it? I don't think
I
they
did,
are,
I
but
did, I did. And I just found, and I know
no,
Cameron Diaz is
it's true.
married.
The chemistry was there. The visually too. I mean, they just like you know when you do a chemistry read in order to like kind of check if a couple is going to work out, if the chemistry read isn't always necessarily for like love couples. You'll do chemistry reads sometimes even mother and daughter or even enemies, you know, if it just vibes, if it flows well on camera. But whenever they do a chemistry reads for any type of like relationship, like love couple, they often start by looking at, do they actually physically visually look good on camera together,
Mm,
right?
mm,
And there a lot of weird things come into play, like even stupid things like height. You know, the height can't be too awkward. And they really did, like they looked amazing together. Like
yeah,
they suited each other. They
yeah.
complemented each other in all the right ways.
It was the chemistry between them just stood out the whole time.
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, that was the first thing I noticed was like, oh, their chemistry works. It works so well. And then the
Yeah.
second time I watched it, I was like, they really look like a parent. They look believable as a
Yeah.
couple and as parents. And it's so I mean it worked well. I won't be surprised if there's a part two, if there's a sequel to this.
And so it's interesting you're saying this because you know how you're watching this chemistry on set, and there is now very frequently there is intimacy coordinators and all this stuff now. Um, and there's so much drama going on that you read after a movie comes out, and the main actors have been hating each other all along, or like lawsuits are happening and all that stuff. And it really does make you wonder, do you ever look back at films whenever you find out, oh, these people actually didn't like each other? Like there was one example being in Castle, I think. Do you know the TV show Castle?
Castle,
Nathan Fillion
yeah.
and the main actress, I don't remember her name right now, Kate something. They did not like each other, and they
Mm,
did this TV show for like 10 years plus, and you're sitting there watching it and you can't tell, but the chemistry isn't as good as this, you know what I mean? It's
mm-hmm,
not like these people are friends. Like
mm-hmm,
I bet you after filming this film they are actually friends and they actually get along with each other offset, off
mm-hmm.
screen. But it's interesting because I do sometimes wonder, like if you look back and you watch back something when you know these people didn't actually get along and it was hard for them, challenging for them to act as if they do, to forget their personal problems, sort of, and project something else on screen, you know?
It's funny you said that. When you said when you said that, the first thing that came to my mind was Game of Thrones. Cersei, the character who played Cersei,
Mm-hmm.
and
Lena Headey.
then remember this guy. You know, Tyrion had this like guy, Sabron, like a cutthroat type of like
Mm-hmm.
sneaky, funny guy. You know, he's always liking prostitutes and stuff like that. The
Yeah.
two of them early on in what I heard was the two of them early on in the series were dating,
Mm-hmm.
and then things fell apart. They kind of hated each other. So if you notice from like season two or season three, they never put them together in the same
They
scene.
couldn't be on set together. I
They
think I
couldn't
read
be in,
about this.
yeah, I think it was maybe one time they were on set, they were in the same shot, but for the most part, they were not in the same shot. They found a
Yeah.
way to not put them in the same shot because it was so, they said it was just so contentious between them. So, like you said, yeah, that thing just it does happen, and it makes you wonder, like, you know, if two people are like dating on set, you'd be like, nah, no, we're not gonna have this. Like,
No,
no.
and see, and that's interesting because I mean, you and I we filmed, but we filmed little snippets here and little snippets there. But whenever you do like a full feature film, sometimes you are pretty much working weekend after weekend for full year. And for
Hmm.
that full year, you are around these people all the time. And unless you make your film family a family,
Hmm.
it's not, I mean, yeah, it's work, but at the same time, I think this type of work that we're in, it really, if it doesn't come with a passion and if you don't absolutely love going every time, it shows,
Hmm. Yeah,
it
yeah,
will
yeah,
show in the final product. So
yeah.
I think it really is important that people try their best to sort of get along. You don't always have to have the same opinions on everything, but like I don't know, I was really lucky with my sets. I mean, our set was amazing.
Oh
Everybody
yeah,
on set was
everybody got
amazing.
along. I mean, everybody got along.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so let's talk about like the kids. Like I like how the kids like kind of like they kind of like placed in a way like the kids are suspecting something with their parents, but
Hmm.
they just can't picture it. Like you guys are lying. Like, you guys are not who you
Yeah.
say you are, but they're trying
Who
to
are
act like
you?
they're normal. They're trying to act like they're normal parents, and they're just like, no, we're normal. And,
They're
and
they were
especially the
so bad at
daughter,
hiding those lies too. You're
yeah,
wondering
and
those spies, they should be better at this. But
yeah, they were
in
not,
front
they
of your
weren't
own
really good.
children, you're just like,
No,
okay, look, you know me too
no,
well.
yeah. Remember when they're like, oh, you guys met in Colombia, but they're like, wait a minute, you told us you met. They're like the Peace Corps over there. They're like,
They have a
yeah,
Columbia there too.
yeah, exactly. So they're just like they can't even keep up with their own lies. The kids are keeping up with the lies. Like, no, that's not what you said. Like,
Yeah.
it was just so funny. But obviously, when they got to London, and then the the incident at the gas station really revealed, like, oh, mommy and daddy are not who they say they
Yeah.
are. They're not. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, the passports with the fake names are like, what is going on here, man? Why this is not my name?
The
And
kids are
then
starting to grow up. That's what it
yeah,
is,
yeah,
because up
yeah.
until then, maybe the daughter wasn't really that aware, but she's
Yeah.
now like almost an adult. Like
And she's
she's
a
gonna,
teenager. She wants to
yeah,
go out. She wants to do things. And she's just
yeah.
like, it's at that age when she's just like, mom's not cool. Dad's not cool. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to go to the party, even though she's 14. I don't know how she got into the club at 14. I'm like, you are
Just
brave.
because her boyfriend had a mustache. I don't know. That freaked me out too. It's like,
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah, yeah,
14-year-old has a mustache?
yeah.
No, yeah. So the comedic side of it was very, very good too. Like I think most of the jokes landed really, really well between like all of them. And then there was the one guy at the end, Nigel,
Hmm.
who I think I remember his first name is Jamie. The actor's name is Jamie. I can't remember. He has like a French last name. He's a British comedian. Like he
Oh,
actually
okay.
is a comedian, and
Oh,
he
okay.
had all the funny parts in it where he was
Oh,
like
you mean the guy who was like dating, who was his character was
Glenn
dating Glenn
Close's
Close's character? Oh,
boyfriend.
yeah.
Yes.
You know the funny thing about that guy, when he first started out, when he first got on the set, when he first came on screen, I was annoyed, but I was like, why is this character here? Like, come on. But as it started, the plot was started going, I was like, okay, I'm beginning to like his character.
Yeah.
He wants to be a spy, but he's just bumbling the whole thing. He just
Yeah.
seems so silly, like he's not, remember when he tried to
He didn't fit the normal like flow of the film, but I liked it. It felt like going to England and watching British stand-up comedy. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
No,
it
no,
just
it's funny you said that because he doesn't really fit the flow of the film. And I think that's on purpose because
yeah,
he's like
exactly.
he's trying to be a spy. He's like, bro, there's nothing spy about you. There's
Like
nothing,
this is it's not gonna happen, right?
nothing. There's nothing spy. And then he's trying to be this lover guy with Glenn Close. I'm like, you dude, she's like old enough to be your like your mom. Like, how are you two in a relationship? And he's saying, like, you guys can call me your granddad or something like
Grandfather.
step grandfather. So they're like, what? Like,
Yeah,
no. And I think that's on purpose. That made it funny. That made it really funny. So at first I didn't like the character, but then as the plot started to keep as the plot was unraveling with him, I was just like, okay, I'm beginning to like I'm liking
yeah,
his character. He just doesn't fit. And that's on purpose. I think that's on purpose. And
yeah,
that's his comedic stitch in the film and stuff
yeah.
like that. But what's another thing I really liked was the even though it was a comedy, the fighting the fighting was not comedic.
Hmm.
The
No,
fighting.
actually, all the action scenes, and that what I was gonna say that I was paying close attention to it as a woman who
Mhm.
will frequently, when action scenes go on too long,
Hmm.
zone out or look at my phone. Like
What?
it
You
was
don't
the
like action
perfect
scenes?
amount. It was the perfect amount of action scenes, and they were really, really well performed and really made interesting to where the like every action scene, I think, and every explosion and every like, typical cliche action movie scene that was in it was really, really well done and really well packaged, so to speak.
It was done well.
I
And I
thought that
like
was
this.
really
I
great.
like the airplane scene when they were fighting, and then she had to like protect her stomach. And she just like I like that they did that shot to show that,
Yeah.
oh, she's being a mommy and she's protecting,
Hmm.
this thing right there. So I like that part. But that the to me the best action scene was just at the gas station when
Yeah, that
Jamie
was that was really,
had the
really cool.
at the fire the gas pump, and then he just blew.
Yes.
It was that was
Genius
just
move. It was really cool.
it was
Yeah.
good. That fight scene was good.
I thought landing the plane was really cool too. I did notice one thing though, and this is again because we watch these things a little bit differently,
Hmm.
right? And because we make movies and we pay attention to continuity and stuff like that. I
Hmm.
noticed one thing. They've landed in the snow and they're walking and talking, right?
Hmm.
And they're walking to the end of a hill, of like a
Hmm.
mountain top,
Yeah,
and go, we got to get out of here, turn back around and go back the same way.
exactly.
And
And
I
I was
was
just
like,
like, wait a minute,
what?
why did y'all
Where are
walk
you
all the way to
going?
the edge and then you got to just turn around? Like I thought y'all just gonna like walk down or something. They just
Right?
like, yeah,
So that
we
was
just
like a
gotta like
very
we just get off the
typical,
grid. Okay, let's go, and they just turn back around. I'm just like, why?
let's walk back
Yeah,
to the
I
plane.
noticed that too. I was just like, that didn't
Oh,
make any
see, and
sense. But
this is what I'm talking about. Like most people would just watch the movie, like, okay, and because we would be filming it and we would be
mhm,
like, well, you go to here, why would you go back the same way? And we would be overthinking that.
yeah,
And then
and
we
we'll
would
be
go,
like, wait a
why
minute,
don't you come from here and then go this way? So it
exactly.
makes more
And
sense.
sometimes you just don't have to overthink. You just have to just let it flow. Just like if it,
Yeah.
if maybe it looks good on screen. It does look good on screen, but for us, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Like, where are you going?
yeah, where are you going? Like,
You
why
just
did you
came
go
from
there and then
there.
turn back around? Like, okay, I guess. Because
We
I'm
needed
thinking
this
like,
walk to air out this
yeah,
conversation.
yeah. I was just like, okay, I guess. But then, what else? And then the choice of music they were playing, the music that they played over, the thing. I just loved it. I love,
What stood out to me the most was the parents trying to convince their kids that they're still hip and playing their own music. that that shit sold. I think the kids and their faces. It was just the whole scene was amazing, and then the fact that they ended the whole movie
yeah,
with that song again too.
yeah.
Um, yeah, which this scene also, in my opinion, kind of showed, and that is something that I have to say is not always the case. Is children actors are very, very often very cute. They're
Mhm.
not necessarily always good actors, and these kids were actually really, really good.
These kids were good. They were
They
really
were
good.
both very, very
The
good.
daughter played a teenage girl that's caught between, like, liking her parents and just wanted to be independent and stuff like that.
Yeah,
The little brother is, played the nerd, but
yeah,
he in a way he's like really curious, like, why are they shooting at us, Dad? Like, what's going on? Like, and then he
yeah.
gets to the gas
He
station.
had
He's
a
asking for
very,
like a
very
meal, and
strong innocence going on still. I
yeah,
love
he's
that
asking.
about him, but he
No,
was very smart. I mean,
yeah,
he
when
ended
she,
up,
yeah, he ended up saving them because he had the little
yeah,
because he's a
leading
nerd.
them
Yeah.
to them and stuff.
I
Yeah.
like the little banter between him and his sister. Remember when they first got back from the club and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to prom before you. And he was like, yeah, that was so funny. She was like, yeah, you just messed up. So I'm gonna go to prom. You're gonna be grounded so bad. I'm gonna go to prom before you. And then she was like, what? There was still something that he had, and she was like, dog, you're such a nerd. He was like, yeah, because I know how to hide from my parents. They don't know they can't spy on me. They spy on you
Yeah.
because you know nothing. So I like this character. I really pray they have a part two. It feels like they're gonna have they have to have a sequel.
Yeah, it looks like there could be one. And then also because it ended up being a very, very good plot twist too. Me continuously thinking Andrew Scott is going to be
A
the
bad guy.
evil.
Nah, he's not. He wasn't. Because they played it well. Because
Hmm.
remember when okay, so when they first got to London and then they leave on the bus, and then the MI6s, the cars come through. You're like, oh man, they just missed them. And then when he got that phone call in the car going to, and then the next thing you know, these bikers show up at the gas station. So you're like, oh man, he set them up. And
So
then he
let's
realizes
talk
that
about those phone calls, Bola, because I very conveniently happen to be Polish.
mhm,
And the bad guys speaking to each other on the phone was, in fact, a Polish actor speaking Polish,
it wasn't
and
Russian,
what seemed to be a Russian or Ukrainian guy responding in Russian.
really? So they
they,
messed that
they,
up.
they weren't even speaking the same language on the phone to each other.
Oh, so you caught that?
Yeah, I got that because they're Polish. It just happens to work out. So I have
So
to say, very, very excited. Had to, of course, Google who this was because so cool to see a fellow, like true, fully Polish person,
mhm,
Polish born, Polish speaking with no foreign accents and everything in such a big movie, right?
mhm,
But yeah, so he's on the phone, he's the boss, he is talking to somebody in the car, and
mhm.
his sentences are all completely correctly in Polish and make sense. The responses are not.
So wait a minute.
They're
So
not.
he's supposed to be a Russian bad guy.
I think, well, it's set in Polish in my closed caption. It said they're speaking in Polish, but the response was not Polish. The response was either Russian or Ukrainian. I couldn't make it out fully, so I can't tell you if it was correct either, but it was not
Wow,
Polish.
that's crazy. I didn't know that. It sounded like
So they
Russian to
were
me.
just speaking two different languages to each other on the phone. It was too funny.
It works. Hey, it works. And maybe it works. Maybe sometimes you can speak to somebody in English and then they answer you back in Spanish and then you understand. Maybe you two
Kind of understand.
understand each other.
Well, I would understand a Ukrainian probably. If we spoke to each other, I probably would know what they're talking about for the most part. We could like make it out, but still,
Yeah,
it was funny to me because, they thought they could get away with it.
yeah. But let's talk about also the dynamic between mother, daughter, mother, and then daughter and grandma and stuff like that. Like
Mm.
obviously, Cameron Diaz's character has like, obviously I think this is something that's gonna happen and you should be looking forward to it with your daughter, in a couple of years. That little mother. You already said it back when we were on set, like, yo, your daughter's like already a feminist and she's not even like what, how old is she?
She's two.
Two.
Yes.
Oh, she's
She's a
already a feminist. So
feminist. She's got opinions she can't express yet. Yeah, she's
yeah.
got a very strong
So
character.
So in the movie, Cameron Diaz obviously is a mom and she wants to she wants to relate to her daughter, but obviously her daughter's becoming a teenager now and she wants to be independent. And I think Jamie's character is telling her like, yo, just, you know, let
Just
it
let her be.
happen.
It's not,
Let
yeah.
it be, saying
Up
she'll
until he
come.
finds out that she's kissing a boy. Then
Exactly. Which every
that's when
dad
the
is like,
dad
oh
comes in.
hell no, no.
Hmm.
But then we get to London and then we find out that her mom lives in like some castle. I'm like, wait a minute, are you royalty? Imagine that you're two kids. You've never met your grandmother before. All of a sudden, be like, oh, we're gonna go meet grandma. You're like, wait a minute, you told us grandma is dead, and she's like,
Yeah.
well, she's not dead. And then you get to
Yeah.
London, and then she lives in this huge castle, and you be like, are you
And
royalty?
she's badass.
Yeah,
Glenn
she's
Close.
badass.
I
She used to
mean,
be a spy back in the days and a thief, a crooked
yeah,
thief.
I can't. So I don't think this woman, this is like one of those actresses that I feel like she could do no wrong. She didn't have to do much. She just shows up and she's already badass. Like,
Yeah, the first
right?
thing you see, she shoots a freaking bird, like, and then now she's like, "Oh, don't hug me. I'm British. You guys are
Yeah, we don't
Americans.
hug a British.
No, we don't hug. We're British." And then she tells the kid, like, "Yo, bring this bird inside the dead bird." And he's trying to pick it up, and the mom is like, "Drop it. Like, don't you pick that thing up." Then they get inside, and then she's like, "Oh, don't go in. Don't touch anything. Don't go in there." And then
Right.
she gets to the kitchen. She's like, "Oh, you want some martini?" She's trying to give the daughter a martini. And, she's 14. Like,
Yeah, so
okay.
they're showing her the way that Cameron Diaz is acting that she was.
Yeah.
But it turns out she really isn't that cold of a like fully
Mhm.
insane. Like she turns out to have that mother instinct and to be an actually very like
Well, let's talk about that. Glenn
sane
Close's
person.
mothering is different from Cameron Diaz's mother, being a mom. So Glenn Close is more like, well, I think it speaks to like, okay, maybe one is the British quote unquote, and one is the American quote unquote. The American one is more like in your face, trying to be like having a relationship with you and stuff like that.
Forcing
Where
it, right?
yeah, maybe forcing it sometimes. Well, whereas the British is more like, oh, you can do it yourself, and
Yeah.
you've got it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and Cameron Diaz feels like, yo, you weren't really a good mom. But in a way, Glenn Close is,
Well, but she's accusing her of sending her away, right, to some
yeah,
school in America. And then they're saying, like, okay, well, she was begging me to go.
yeah,
So there is this whole, I think what it was essentially is no, she probably did not have the traditional mother instinct.
is that true?
So she didn't push it. You know what I mean? She
Yeah, she
didn't
didn't push
force
it,
it. But I like that they found their way to each other and they found to kind of almost like understand each other's love language, sort of. You know what I mean?
but I think the way they did that was because Glenn Close's character had a moment with the granddaughter when she
Hmm.
was looking at the pictures, and there was I forgot what she said to her, but I think there was a moment there where they connected. And I think that was Glenn Close's way of like, you know what, I didn't connect her character. I was like, I didn't have this moment with your mom.
Yeah, she
So I'm gonna
admitted it. And I think you do sometimes with age realize like things that you could have or should have done, maybe, you
yeah.
know?
And so she's like, I'm gonna make up with that with you. And I think that moment when she was looking at her mom's pictures and then grandma comes along and then says something, I was like, that's the moment, that's their moment right
Yeah.
there for grandma and granddaughter. They had a moment right there. And
Hmm.
that was good to watch. That was so even though it was like a very I to me, I think it's um I like to call these kind of movies kind of like cheesy and corny and stuff like that, but it was cheesy and corny in a very good way, in a very, very simplistic way. Because this
Yeah.
is the type of movie you don't have to think too much. You know what I'm saying? It's a movie that when you come home after a long day of work, you're just like, I just want to pop something in. I don't want to think. I just want to just have fun. This is this.
I want to know that already in the beginning, even though there's plot twists, even though there's new bad guys showing up, even though there's all this fight and action, I want to know that it's going to end well.
Yeah,
Like we already know this, right?
yeah,
There was no doubt. Like we
yeah.
knew. We
And
knew Cameron Diaz wasn't going to die. Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know
And
what
the
I
funny
mean?
thing
Like,
was, even though there were some twists, there was some like funny, like some twist, like, oh, I didn't see that coming. You still knew you've seen this storyline before. You've seen the storyline for the parents who were spies, and the kids didn't know they were spies, and then all of a sudden something happens, and you're just like, oh my God, mom, dad, like, what the hell's going on? Who are you? And then you eventually reveal, like, oh, we're CIA, yada yada yada, and then now the kids are somewhat involved now. And I think the kids are going to start getting involved. It's almost like Spy Kids. Remember
yeah,
Spy Kids? You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
almost like Spy Kids. So it's kind of like another version of Spy Kids.
That's
A
what
li-
that's where they could be going from here. The kids might be interested in getting into it, and the parents are like, no, 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 too
no, no,
dangerous.
no. No, I like when they when they left the gas station, and the son asked the dad, like, yo, can you beat up my friend's dad? Like I can beat all of them up. Well, not at the
Not at
same time.
once.
But one by one I can beat them, but not at the same time. That was, I mean,
I
there was some
know
really
it was showing his innocence again because he's still at that age where the kids in school are saying, "Oh, my dad is stronger than your
stronger than
dad."
yours, yeah. And he's like, no, now he can like, listen, man, my dad, my dad will fuck your dad up. My dad is a
Here.
spy. He's an assassin for the
Yeah,
government. So don't play with me. He can't beat all of you at the same time, but one by one, he'll kick your ass. And
exactly.
obviously the club scene where they went to go pick up their daughter was where the thing that really triggered the story. Like, oh,
Right.
this is how because the daughter was like, wait a minute, what the heck did you just do? Like, you just learned, and he's just learned some kung fu shit. He's like, no, it's taekwondo, and it's from Korea. Is it that where y'all met? Like, yeah, that's where we met. Like, I thought you said you met in Colombia.
You met in
Like,
Colombia.
yeah, we met in Colombia. Like, and then again, they're like, and then you're speaking Russian. You know what I'm saying? And then
Which
this,
reminds me that that is one of the scenes that I liked a lot was whenever they were really frustrated in the very beginning and Cameron Diaz was just getting so overwhelmed and overstimulated and the typical like kind of very very typical rant that I will do too with all the kids are driving me crazy and I'm keep doing lunches I'm blah, 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 blah. He's like I know what you need and it gets all romantic.
I forgot about this scene because the daughters in the son's room, and then they start hearing them like
You
grunting and
hear
stuff.
the sounds.
And I'm thinking like, oh, they're having sex.
I was
No, they're
worried.
not. No,
I
they're
was
not.
worried where it was going. Yes,
I
no,
was
that
like,
was awesome.
where's this going? Like, what? He said, I know what you need. And then you start hearing the grunting. You be like, oh, are they doing it? No, they're not.
Yep.
Pop, 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 pop. He's just like, just take it out.
Get your frustration out, girl.
Get the guts and gloves, get the mitts, and just start. But then after they're done, just like coming into the
Yeah.
restroom, the bathroom and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So they don't show. So it's
But
still
so,
some
and again, it shows that you really don't have to do all this weird, like, you know how so many movies are like just so vulgar by now. Like it's so unnecessary. Like the love and the sexual tension was there and it was enough. You know
it
what I
was
mean?
enough.
They
Yeah, yeah.
showed nothing. Nobody had to
It's
compromise anything, you know?
and I think they did two things in that scene. They the first of all when we heard them grunting, it was like we thought it was they were making love, and then they alluded to that. They alluded to
Hmm.
that, with the boxing, and then once they crashed, that was like climaxing. Because back in the days, in like the classical era, how they would because they couldn't show sex back in those days. So what they would do is that, so I saw a scene where like the camera was behind them and they were on the chair, they were sitting in the chair, and then they closed in for a kiss, and as they closed in for the kiss, the camera just went zoomed past them, and it was out, and then just showed the window that was open, and it was at night. And as soon as they kissed and the camera zoomed past them, it just shows like the explosion, like firecrackers or something like that, like.
Hmm.
So that was them making love, and they climaxed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got that, and I think that's the same thing they did with that scene. It was the same
Yeah.
thing, but and like you said, everything has gotten so vulgar now, stuff like that, and that I don't I'm not doing that in my
No,
film.
it's not necessary. It's really not.
It's
And
not
not to
necessary. And it's
entertain
gotten
and
to the
not to
point
get
that it's
attention.
just overdone.
But yeah,
It's
right.
overdone.
And it's like it's desensitizing everything too. It's just not really. But this, I mean, it showed a 15-year-old relationship marriage where they know each other so well, you know.
Hmm.
But also, I mean, still like romance isn't dead, you know. I mean, they're still gonna, you know what I mean? But that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that was I thought that was a great scene too. I thought that
Yeah.
was a great. Plus, it works because I do training right now, kickboxing for an action movie myself, and I have to say it really does. You can let all your frustrations out just punching and kicking. I mean, that works. It
Yeah.
works wonders
Yeah.
when you're like overstimulated from the
Yeah.
whole week.
Yeah.
So
I used to do boxing a couple of years ago, and it's one of the greatest workouts ever. It probably is the best workout.
yeah,
I tell people like, listen,
you
you
just
think
need a
you work out?
partner.
Yeah, yeah. I say you think you work out going to the gym, lifting weights and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that's working out, but let me tell you a better workout. For a woman, I give you 15 minutes in a boxing gym, and for a guy, I give you 30 minutes. And I promise you, that's probably the most workout you've ever
Well,
done.
because why you're also really, really focused on other things. The whole thing about constant lifting and constant squat with the same, like
Yeah,
all you can think about is count the squats and think about how uncomfortable you are, how sore you're getting. This whole punching and like actually releasing all your stress and anxiety into that punching bag, and you're working out a lot more because your mind goes elsewhere, you know?
and it's not like you're not
You
being
have more
static.
fun doing it.
Yeah, you're not being static because when you, like you said, when you lifting weights, you're just doing the same thing,
Mhm.
and you're doing it. If you do it every day, you're just doing the same thing. It's maybe you lift a little heavier and stuff like that. But when you go to
Yeah.
boxing, you're moving. Your
Yeah.
body's constantly moving and stuff like that. But yeah. So I mean, the movie just works well. It was just a good movie. It's something you can watch by yourself. You can watch with the kids. If your kids are a little older and stuff like that, for them to get it. I don't think you can watch it with your kids. They're a little too young.
No, maybe not.
Yeah, they
Not
just
yet.
be like, "What is this?" No, they're just gonna
There's
fall
too
asleep.
much talking for a 6 and 4-year-old, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're just like, "No, this isn't." But if your kids are a little bit older, like 10, 11, 12, they would get it and they would love it. You know what I'm saying?
I think they'd enjoy
So
it.
at the end of the film, obviously we think there's gonna be a sequel, and I think there should be because um somebody some I'm not gonna that's not I think we spoiled it a little bit too much that we shouldn't have. But
Yeah,
yeah, the
we'll
ending
give a
just
warning. We'll
yeah,
give a warning.
yeah, I'm gonna put a warning like, yo, spoiler alert, man. So we probably messed up a couple of things.
Not
But
fully
I think
spoilery.
we believe this is gonna be a sequel. Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz's characters, the chemistry between them as actors was just so it's just so
Phenomenal.
illuminating, and it was so good. Cameron Diaz, like I said, I think this is like the first film she's done in a very long time. At least for me, I haven't seen her in anything, and she just this role was made for her. She really
Yeah,
shined.
she did amazing.
If it was possible for her to get like an Oscar nomination for this role, I think she should, but she's not. They're not gonna nominate. This is not a movie that you get any kind of
Yeah,
nomination. It's just an easy movie to watch. It's not you don't have to think too much. It's corny, it's cheesy, but it works well. It really works
yeah.
well. I do recommend that you watch it. It's on Netflix, Back in Action, so you should watch it. I give this how are we grading this? Five, are we doing 1 to 5 or 1 to 10?
1 through 10.
1 to 10?
Yeah.
I'll give this a solid I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7 or 8.
I'll give it an 8.
I I have beef with the people who speak Polish to Russians. So
Nah, nah,
no.
nah. Most people are
No,
not gonna
I
get.
think it was a solid action film. It did not disappoint in what you expect from just watching a action classic.
Mhm,
I thought it was very funny. It was very gripping. And again, nowadays, you know how they say uh Netflix should have this category that you put in that you can just let it run in the back while you're scrolling your phone. Like
mhm.
it was good to where you didn't do that because unfortunately it happens. Like if something's not interesting, immediately people are grabbing the phones, and I did not have the urge at all. Like it was interesting the whole time, and it was very funny. It was very entertaining for sure.
Yeah, I agree too. I did not one time like stop to do anything. It was just like I'm like, this is funny. This is so good. This works well. And there was nothing complicated about it. It was just a simple story, and it just kept. I might just go watch it again before I go to sleep. It was just that good.
I'll
It
watch
was
the
so
next one that we'll be talking about.
Gladiator 2.
Fall Guy.
You want the Fall Guy?
Yes.
No. What's the
Fine, we'll
Fall?
do
Oh,
Gladiator 2 and then we'll do the Fall Guy. We need to
so
talk
you
about
want
the Fall Guy.
so you want to do the Gladiator 2 next?
I haven't seen it yet,
Oh,
so
so you want to do the Fall Guy? All right, so I haven't seen the Fall Guy. The Fall Guy is the one with the
the Ryan Gosling, Emily
Ryan
Blunt,
Gosling. Is that on
Aaron
Amazon
Taylor
Prime?
Johnson.
That's on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna try to watch it tomorrow, and then we can try to talk about it. Uh, let's do. Can we do it Thursday night? Thursday night? Yeah. All right. So that's it for you. That's it, guys. This is our first episode of movie unboxing with Marty and Bola. What did you think, Marty?
What did I think? I thought you
Hmm.
were asking the people.
No, I'm asking you. I'm gonna ask the people. I'm asking you. What did you think about our first episode?
I don't know. I had fun
Yeah, room for improvement. That's what I
for
say.
sure. Well,
There's
I
always
want to
room.
say, yeah, I want to, but I think we did what we were trying to do, right? We
Yeah.
want to talk about these movies, and there's so many YouTube videos and YouTube channels out there about people just giving um ratings for movies, criticizing the movie, but it's usually just people watching the
Hmm.
movies. I'm not saying we're not just people. I'm saying we always have watched movies a little bit a different way. And I think it's interesting for both the people that also watch it the other way, that also make movies but also again just to show a movie from a different perspective. People will watch a movie, they will just say yes, I enjoyed it, or no, I didn't enjoy it, but they're not going this deep. They're not reconsidering how it was done, or if they got along on set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I
And I
think
think, like
it
we
can be
said before, like,
eye-opening too, because it
yeah,
can change the rating in your head in a way, because you're like, look, maybe this didn't come out as good as you thought it should, but
Hmm.
look how hard it was to make. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. So I think moving forward, we always said like we're gonna like bring in another guest, like another filmmaker who might see things differently or something like that than we are. I think we should also bring just a regular movie fan, someone that's not really a movie maker or an actor or something like that. Someone just they just like movies and see and get their own perspective too. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I think you might find some people who are not filmmakers and probably see things almost the same way that we do, and that's probably
And
interesting.
also, we should ask for movie recommendations. Like, hey, what do you guys want us to talk about next?
Oh yeah, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. All right, guys, that was the first episode of movie unboxing with Marty and Bola. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you agree with what we how we analyzed the movie Back in Action? And what did you guys think about the movie? Anyway, what did you like it or not? And I guess we'll see you in the next episode. Peace. Bye bye.